Good evening, everybody. My name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, and welcome back to my channel. This is a Flosstube extra. If you're new, welcome. This is a channel where I talk about all my cross stitch. This is not a regular update today. If you're returning, welcome back. This is the video that I promised you last week and did not deliver. This is the help me choose video for my upcoming temperatures that I'm going to start up in August. So, what is this all about? I am bringing back my temperature stitching. Temperature stitching, for those who are unaware, it was started by Siski Stitches, where she had a whole slew of temperatures listed out that are normally in her range, and she had a whip assigned to each one, and she would do 100 stitches on whichever, or 50 or whatever it was. I think it was 100 stitches for whichever temperature it was that day. I loved that idea, but I live in Florida, so it's always like 1,000 degrees here. Very rarely does it drop down low. So I was like, well, if I have that whole slew of whips listed, it's just the same project you're going to get worked on over and over, especially in the summer where it's typically starting the day off at 7 o'clock in the morning at 80 degrees, like it has this week. Oh my God, it's so hot. So what I did was I decided to do 10 whips, and I assigned them to the numbers 0 through 9, and whatever, you could do the temperature as you're sitting down for the day. You could do the projected temperature. You could do the temperature from the day before, whatever you want to do. But whatever the temperature is, you take the whip assigned to that number and you do 100 stitches, or you do 30 minutes, or you do one strand, or whatever it is that you want to do. So like if the temperature is 77 degrees, then you would take the project assigned to number 7 and throw 100 stitches on it. I know Veronica at Night Stitch, she's doing one whip, and this was a neat idea. She's doing one whip, and she just upped her numbers. It's like, I think she said if the temperature ends in an even number, she's doing like 100 stitches, and if it ends in an odd number, she's doing 150 stitches. That's kind of a neat idea. I like that one too. But what I'm gonna do is my whips of shame, my really old projects that I'm usually having you guys pick one every month for me to do 100 stitches a day for that month. We are going to throw those into the temperature stitching, and I'm dropping my goal from 3,000, which is what the current whip of shame goal is, down to 2,000, because by the end of that 3,000, I'm ready to throw the project in the bin. Like, I'm just like so over it. So, but 1,000 stitches I think is going to be too quick cycling through it, because I'm going to be assigning these whips to 2 numbers. And I think assigning it to 2 numbers, I think it's going to be a little bit too quick for it to, we'll be voting like every other week, and it's going to be too much. So we'll do 2,000 stitches for the goal. You guys are going to vote for, so I'm going to have 5 whips total. You guys are going to vote for 4 of them. I have one picked out already. Okay. Let me show you the one I picked out. So the whip that I'm assigning to the numbers 0 and 5 is going to be this old Bucilla kit called Bless's Nest. It's very small, it's like 5 by 7. And that's what it's gonna look like when it's done. I'm not gonna go over, oh, I'm stitching it on this and blah, blah, blah. You know, all this stuff, everything came, I'm stitching whatever came in the kit. That's my starting point. So I picked this one obviously because it looks like it's pretty close to a finish. 2,000 stitches is going to get it pretty darn close. I do not think 2,000 stitches will get it to a finish, because there is a lot of back stitching still to go on top of the cross stitching. What I'm hoping is that if I could maybe get the cross stitching completed where, let me back up. I was going to say, where if I could get the cross stitching completed where all I have left is back stitching, you guys, but never mind, you guys know how that goes. Okay, so what I would like to do is, let's change this. Okay, what I'm going to work on first is completing the cross stitching from this band of birds down, and do the back stitching and the whole thing. I have the back stitching for that word there and these birds right here. Yeah, these two, and I've started kind of the line right there. So I'm gonna get all the cross stitching from the band of birds down and the back stitching in this completed first before I move up here. I almost shot myself in the foot with that one. So this is going to be assigned to the numbers 0 and 5. And what I'm hoping is that by the time I get to the 2000 stitch goal, that it will be close enough to where maybe I could put it into the finish the shit pile. Okay, so how are we going to do this? I'm going to become an ophthalmologist, and I'm going to say, which one do you want? Number 1, number 2. I have my whips of shame on a wheel here. There's a few of these that are going to be out of the running for the first round of temperature stitching. But I didn't pull them off of the wheel because I'm going to forget to put them back on, and I can't hide them. Aurora has suggested hiding them on the wheel, but I can't do that because this is the free version. I refuse to pay. I have a paid version on my phone, but that's what you guys are on right now, and I'm not paying for a version on here. This is an Android, my phone is an iPhone. They don't talk, so I can't connect them. Anyway, so the 3 that are going to be out, there's going to be 3 out of the running. First one up is Bless This Nest, obviously because I picked it. Next one is going to be Riding the Wave, because that is my current whip of shame. And if I have to do another 2,000 stitches on top of the 3,000 I already have to do, 3,100 I have to do for July, I will be sticking forks in my eyes. There's no way. The third one that is going to be out of the running is Rocky Point. That one is currently my jail whip for Monopoly. That has a goal of 4,000 stitches. That's going to get plenty of work on it. I've worked on it so much this year already. We are not messing with that. So if I come across one of them on the wheel here, we're just going to spin again. So what we're going to do is I'm going to spin this thing twice, and then I'm going to show you the 2 whips, and then we'll spin it again. I'll show you the 2 whips. We're going to do that 4 times, and I will have everything in the description box down below, and we'll figure out as we go along how you're going to differentiate between the 2, or between them. Okay, so there's a gnat in here. I had some bananas on the counter that I didn't eat. Now I got fruit flies that I'm trying to get rid of. Okay, first one up. So this is going to be for the numbers, temperatures 1 and 6. First one up is Cat on Indian Carpet versus not that one, not Riding the Wave. Let's try again. Okay, Cat on Indian Carpet versus Magnificent Wizard. Okay, that one, where is it? Where the hell is it? Oh, son of a mother. Hang on a second. Okay, I was hoping I wouldn't have to edit this video. God dog it. Now I am. Okay. Okay, first up for temperatures 1 and 6. I'm going to show you the cover photos and the starting points for these whips. First one up is Cat on Indian Carpet. This is from Designs for the Needle. Artwork is by Leslie Ann Ivory. That is my starting point. Versus I just had it. Okay, there it is. Magnificent Wizard. This is a Dimensions Gold Collection. Artwork by Don Mates. I'm not going to say anything about any of these whips, whether I like them, whether I hate them, how many times I've worked on them, nothing. This is my starting point with that one. So now for the verses part, this is going to be number 1, number 2. So for temperatures, first grouping is either going to be cat or wizard. You can use those words. Cat versus wizard, pick one. Which one would you rather see me work on for 2,000 stitches? Cat or wizard? Okay. I want to get these back in the bags because I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose my mind if I get all this stuff mixed up. And I'll have, like I think I already said this, I'll have everything in the description box down below as well. Okay. Next up for the temperatures 2 and 7. Walking to Town versus Aurora Cabin. Oh, that's funny. It's two kind of Christmassy whips. Okay. All right, first one is going to be Walking to Town. This is an old Dimensions kit, and artwork is by Fred Swan. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. My fabric's like folded and wrinkled. That's my starting point with it. Versus Aurora Cabin, and this is a Dimensions Gold Collection, artwork by Kim Norlin. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And hang on, I got some hanging threads here. Give me 1 second. Trying to get them like where they're not like in the way for you to see what is happening. That's my starting point with that one. So, which one looks better? Number 3 or number 4? 3, 4. Oh man. All right, so we'll do town or cabin. Or well, or should I do Aurora? No, that word's too weird. Town or cabin. You can also type out the entire thing. You can also call it whatever you want. I mean, like I've said before, when you guys have to vote for stuff, where does this go? I can typically figure out what you're trying to say when you're telling me which whip you want me to work on. I'm just trying to make it easy for people to just pick a word. Okay, next up for temperatures 3 and 8. First one is going to be Irish Blessing versus Frederick. Okay. Irish Blessing is a kit from Artiste. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. And that is my starting point with it. Versus, oh wait, this one's in a bag, like a real bag. Okay, versus Frederick. This is a kit from Creative Accents, designed by Charles Wysocki. And this is my starting point with Frederick. I was going to do like this, but I was like, oh wait, I've worked down to the bottom. Almost the bottom. All right, so number 5, number 6. Let's do, like, if you just want to use one of the words I'm using, because I'm not doing like the comment picker to filter the comments or anything, so you really could say whatever you wanted, but you could say like Irish or Frederick or cat or whatever. I don't care. No, because the other one's a cat. Frederick. Use Frederick for this one. So Irish versus Frederick. All right, hold on one second. I got to get this stuff back where it needs to go. Okay, last set to vote on. This is going to be a quick video. This is going to be for temperatures 4 and 9. In Her Garden versus Goodnight Bears. How is it, I will say this, how is it that half of these projects are projects I've already worked on like twice? And I still have projects that I have not worked on that are not even being in this voting round. Like, oh my God. Okay. In Her Garden. This is a Dimensions Gold Collection artwork by Sandra Cuck. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I had to make sure I knew which way it was up. That is my starting point with it. Versus, yeah, let me go ahead and just put the whip back in there. I'll keep the cover photo out for voting. Versus Goodnight Bears. Son of a bitch. Hang on a second. All right, versus Goodnight Bears. This is from Designs for the Needle. Artwork is by Fiona Jude. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. And here is my starting point. I don't remember what numbers I'm on. In her garden versus Goodnight Bears. Garden. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Garden. Bears. Which one would you want me to work on? Garden or bears? So, like I was saying, I still have projects that did not get picked, that I have not worked on since this whole like whip of shame thing started. Let me see. Yeah. Actually, I only have one left that did not get picked. But anyway, that's for the future. So you guys cast your votes down below. Voting will be open until the end of the month for the next 2 weeks, until July 31st, because I'm going to start the temperature stitching on August the 1st. And I will, hold on, let me find my calendar on here. So August the 1st, I will announce the winners. Wait, because, yeah, so not the next Flosstube, but the one after. So August the 1st, I will announce the winners. So if you are watching this after, the final day to vote is July 31st, 2025. If you're watching this after, there's no need to vote because voting is over. It's done. If you're watching this after July the 31st, no point in voting because voting is completed. I've already moved on. We're on to something else now. But yeah, you guys cast your votes below. I will tally the votes up and we'll see which ones get picked. And the goal will be, like I was saying, the goal will be 2,000 stitches and they will be assigned to 2 temperatures each. I will probably continue with the projected temperatures. So I kind of can plan ahead, maybe. I don't know if I want to do projected temperatures so we all know. Yeah, I need to do projected temperatures so we know what we're going to be doing. That way I will be able to gauge when we need to vote again for a replacement. So, that's it. Cast your votes below. Have fun. I hope you guys pick some, I mean, they're all good, but I hope you guys pick some good ones. Okay, that's it. Vote below and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.